And this is the Skull Ice Cave. Apparently we come in from the left. Lava Beds National Monument is laced with a pattern of lava tubes. The trench of lava boulders in front of you is a tube segment where the roof has collapsed. The intact section of your right, on your right, is Skull Cave, a huge tube with ceilings as high as 80 feet. A walk through the cave will reveal different levels. The floor of the upper tube collapses into a lower tube where trapped winter air keeps ice frozen all year long. Skull Cave got its name in 1898 when a wagon load of animal bones was discovered inside. There were remains of bighorn sheep, antelope, mountain goats. 2 human skeletons were also found. How they got there is a mystery. Okay, no surprise to what we're seeing here, but except for the fact that it's a huge tube. Okay, this is the first route down into the tube itself. I wonder how long it takes after a tube like this is formed for it to collapse in on itself. Is it a slow, gradual erosion type of process? Or is it simply a weight that happens much quicker, perhaps? Wow. Wow, look at the size of this thing. It's absolutely wonderful that our country has chosen to protect places like this. You'd think there would be bats in here. See how beautifully maintained this is compared to the one that I was in Guatemala or even in Australia. In Guatemala, it's many of those countries, with their lack of wealth, or at least the wealth they have being stolen by the wealthy. It's enough that they protect areas like this and give you access. I'm going to get down here a ways and then try and use my night vision. Guys, look how huge this is. Okay, there's that view. Now it's a night shot. This might work better, we'll see. Okay, we're now at the bottom, and you can see the water. There's some ice crystals. But the rest of this is closed off because people walking on is damaging all that ice. You can see the ice there. Going back inside there. You can hear that water dropping. Ice is replenished by annual surface runoff and is an important source of water for many cave inhabitants. This ice floor has been a part of the Skull Cave environment for hundreds of years. Historic accounts of this ice floor indicate that its clarity was pristine enough to see several feet into the floor. To migrate cave impacts, they've shut this down, so you can't go any further. But imagine that being hundreds or multiple feet deeper, not hundreds, but multiple feet. And I wonder here if the dynamic of the formation of this has changed. That's a measuring device there of some sort. Can't see. Whether this formation has anything to do with creation from water. You can see water leaching into here, so water appears to come either from the air and condense on this or leach through, but that would be an interesting question. Stairs that went down to the ice floor down there. And now, it's a little walkway, some shallow stairs, and then those up to the top, and you can see the light. I'm going to turn the light off so we can see it. There, you can see light there. If you dropped your flashlight, and if there were no stairs to follow, it'd still be a rough trip out. You'd have to do everything over these rocks by feel. But of course it would not be impossible. Some of these rocks look like they moved over against the fence or the stairs. I don't know if that's just how closely they built them, but those two in particular look that way. If it's true that it was not built that way, then it suggests considerable movement of rock in these caves. What would seem interesting about the rock inside of this cave, particularly the farther down you go, is that it's pristine internal earth rock, affected only by a little bit of whatever air currents bring in. But air currents wouldn't seem to be pronounced, since I don't know that there's another opening in this cave. There may be, but I don't know that there is. If there isn't, then there wouldn't be any air movement. If there is, then there wouldn't. But what an amphitheater. It's not hard to understand how some Aboriginal peoples would find this very frightening to be inside of. I find it frightening to go down inside of it. It's makes me very anxious going down those stairs, getting down further and further to the bottom. I mean, these rocks fell sometime in the last 1,000,000 years, and who's to say that one won't fall again now? And of course, if that fear were pumped up by medicine men who realized it was no big deal, then the aura of fear permeating this place might be extremely high, and certainly validate a shaman's allegation that only he was privy to counsel with the gods, and that's why he could go in unafraid. As I walk up out of the cave, right in this last 20 feet or so, I begin to smell something. And I think what it is this vegetation, this moss, and things that are dying, as well as things that are living. But it's a smell that's quite distinctive. There's also a breeze here. Whether this breeze is going into the cave or just happens to be a breeze. I see some of the bushes moving slightly. I don't know that. I didn't feel a breeze down below. But when I talk about the fear of rocks falling, look at these rocks. Doesn't it look like a big crowbar slammed into that crevice? Or that one there, with enough energy could dislodge the whole structure right there in the center? Or that one rock sitting right there, doesn't that look like it could be knocked away with a sledgehammer and a crowbar? And who knows which of these rocks is the keystone? Look at that sediment right there. Which is the keystone one? No doubt the one I'd choose to remove. This is the Lion's Trail, and it's access to the wilderness. It would allow you, if you were inclined and wanted to spend a few nights camped out in the lava bed somewhere, this would allow you to do what I wondered if it was possible to do at Crater of the Moons, and that was to spend an overnight out there. Here you can. I'm on the trail up to another cave and bridge whose name I don't remember, but on the trail, these are rocks that differentiate the trail from everything else. But notice this one has water on it, and I'm just wondering why. Did a little animal come, or a big animal come and pee on that thing just hours ago? could get down and smell it, but I'm not that interested. But it's just an anomaly, and it's curious because of that. Well, here may be a clue, some kind of animal. Scat. And the size of it, I'm guessing it might be a fox or something like that. Or maybe he urinated first, number 2'd second. Or maybe he was going the opposite way and did the reverse. See, right below me is the other side of that first opening we looked at. It may have just been an undulating tube of lava for some reason. You can clearly see where it flowed. That obviously flowed from, well, I guess it flowed from that cinder cone, although that's contradictory that lava and cinder cone. Composite cone would be one that had layers of lava interrupted with layers of ash. And this could have been from that, but don't know how to resolve that question.